Good morning to all of you. In economics, chapter number 10, I think. Yes, chapter number 10. And topic is, last topic, types of deficit budget. Types of deficit budget. Page number 113. Types of deficit budget. Once again, before explaining about the types of deficit budget is of two types. We have done on page number 108. Budget is of two types: balanced budget, unbalanced budget. Then unbalanced budget is also of two types: surplus budget and deficit budget. So deficit budget means when total expenditure is more than total income. Whenever total expenditure is more than total expenditure, then it is called, such type of budget is called deficit budget. Then total expenditure, we all know, it is also of two types: revenue expenditure. First of all, try to understand the meaning of deficit budget, then its parts: the revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. Total income has also two parts: revenue income and capital income. Once again, deficit budget means when total expenditure is more than total income, or in other words, when total income is less than total expenditure, then it is called deficit budget. Now, total expenditure means it is the addition of revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. Total income, it is the addition of revenue income and capital income. Revenue expenditure means regular income. Regular income. Capital expenditure means, in short, I am telling you, irregular income, because we have already explained all these things in detail. Irregular income. Same, revenue income, regular income. Sorry, this is regular expenditure. Revenue income is regular income. And capital income means irregular income. So we can say that total expenditure means addition of revenue expenditure and capital expenditure, or addition of regular expenditure and irregular expenditure. Regular expenditure is also known as known expenditure. Irregular expenditure, unknown expenditure. Regular income means known income. Irregular income means unknown income. Regular expenditure. Another name of regular expenditure, planned expenditure, means which we know, we have already planned that in this area we have to spend this and this amount. This is called planned expenditure. Unplanned, irregular expenditure, all of a sudden we are making plans, and unplanned. Regular income again, planned income, unplanned income. Example, regular expenditure. For example, salary to government employees. Salary to government employees. So every month government is paying salary to their employees, that is regular expenditure. irregular expenditure means regular expenditure does not have any effect on assets and liabilities. Assets and liabilities means expenditures which has no effect on assets and liabilities. Such type of expenditure is called regular expenditure. Irregular expenditure. Irregular expenditure example: purchase of fixed asset or machinery. One example I am taking: machinery. Purchase of machinery or aircrafts from other country, that is called capital expenditure. Purchase of machinery. And such expenditure has effect on assets and liabilities. Means expenditure. Now here purchase of machinery means when we are purchasing machinery comes into our country. As a result, our asset increases. So it has, means capital expenditure has effect either on assets or on liabilities. In the same way, regular income means revenue income. Revenue income means which has no effect on assets and liabilities. For example, revenue income, tax is a major source of government income, so it is a regular income. Now irregular income or capital income are those income which has effect on assets and liabilities. Either it will increase or decrease the assets, or sometimes it will increase or decrease the liability. For example of irregular income: borrowing money from International Monetary Fund. So when we are borrowing money from International Monetary Fund or any other agency, as a result cash inflow take place, so it is considered as income. And as a result, what happens when we are borrowing money? Our liabilities, means government liabilities, increases. So capital income and capital expenditure has effect on assets and liabilities, but regular expenditure and regular income does not have any effect on assets and liabilities. So one example I have taken: salary to government employees, purchase of machinery, here assets increases. Or another example, if we are repaying the borrowed money, for example 5 years back we have taken loan from IMF or World Bank, now we are returning the money, we are repaying the borrowed amount, then what happens? Our liability decreases. Means expenditure or income which has an effect on assets and liabilities, such income or expenditure is considered as capital. If it is income, then capital income. If it is expenditure, then capital expenditure. Now come to main topic: types of deficit budget. Now types of deficit budget. First one is revenue deficit. Revenue deficit. Now revenue deficit means here a revenue word is used. That's a deficit means we have already done that expenditure is more than, expenditure means total expenditure is more than total income, then it is called a deficit budget. Now here only revenue word is used, that's why we have to take only revenue type of income and revenue type of expenditure. Means when total revenue income is less than total revenue expenditure. or in other words, when total revenue expenditure is more than total revenue income, then it is called revenue deficit budget. Means in revenue deficit budget we are taking only and only revenue income and revenue expenditure. We are not taking capital income and capital expenditure, or we can say we are not taking total income and total expenditure. Total income and total expenditure both has two parts: revenue income, revenue expenditure. Total income, revenue income and capital income. Total expenditure, revenue expenditure, capital expenditure. So here we are taking only and only, or we are considering only and only revenue expenditure and revenue income, and condition is when revenue expenditure is more than revenue income, such type of budget is called revenue deficit. Now from textbook, revenue deficit arises when total expenditure of the government on revenue account, total expenditure of the government on revenue or current account, means in simple language, when revenue expenditure we are taking is more than total receipts of the government on the revenue account. In revenue account, if total receipts is less and total revenue expenditure is more, then such type of budget is called revenue deficit budget. Now once again, next para, revenue account contains revenue account. If you prepare revenue account like this, revenue account, so this side we have to take revenue income, this side revenue expenditure, debit side, credit side. So revenue account contains current transactions, means in revenue account we are taking only those transactions which are taking place in the current year. Revenue account contains current transactions of the government, and a deficit in this account in a simple sense means that government is not able to meet its routine expenditure from its current income. When income is less, expenditures are more, it means out of earned income, government is not able to fulfill their current expenditure. Current expenditure means current year expenditure. Revenue deficit means income is less and expenditure is more. It means that government is not able to fulfill all their requirements, all their expenditures out of earned income. Revenue, once again, revenue account contains current transactions, means transactions which take place in the current year, and the deficit. Deficit means loss, because expenditure is more, income is less, it means there is a loss. And the deficit in this account in a simple sense means government is not able to meet its routine expenditure from its current income. This shows inefficient working of government machinery. Here machinery does not mean actual machinery. Machinery means system. Here machinery means the working system of the government is not efficient, means they are working in an inefficient manner. That's why they are not able to utilize all the resources at optimum level or in the best possible manner. That's why they are not able to fulfill their expenditure out of earned income, means the system is inefficient. That's why their income remains less than their expenditure. That's why they are not able to fulfill their expenditure out of earned income. This is revenue deficit. Now second one is budgetary deficit. So here once again revenue deficit, total revenue income, to only revenue income, not total income. Revenue income remains less than revenue expenditure. It means we can say current year income is less than current year expenditure. And when current year income is less and current year expenditure is more, then situation of deficit arises. Situation of deficit arises means situation of loss arises. and due to loss, government is not able to fulfill their current year expenditure out of current year income. Due to deficit, government is not able to fulfill their current year expenditure out of current year income. This is about revenue deficit. Now second one is budgetary deficit. Budgetary deficit, here in budgetary deficit, when total expenditure, here we have to take total expenditure. Total expenditure means revenue expenditure as well as capital expenditure. When total expenditure is more than total income, when total expenditure is more than total expenditure, again the situation of deficit or loss arises. This is called budgetary deficit. So in simple language from textbook, when the total expenditure, within bracket it is written current means revenue as well as capital, when total expenditure is greater than total income in a budget, then budgetary deficit is said to have arisen. Then we are saying that type of budget as budgetary deficit. The central government incurs deficit financing, borrows from RBI to meet this deficit. So when once total expenditure, revenue as well as capital expenditure becomes more than total income, it is clear that out of the total earned income, government is not able to fulfill their expenditure. In that situation, government has to borrow money. In case of revenue deficit, one important point, in case of revenue deficit, it is clear that current year expenditure is more and current year income is less. It means government is not able to fulfill their current year expenditure out of this current year income. But it does not mean that they cannot fulfill their current year expenditure in a proper way. But out of current year earned income, they are not able to fulfill. But from capital income, they can fulfill this current year expenditure from capital income. For example, if current year expenditure is more, current year income is less, it may be possible that in order to fulfill current year expenditure, government will sell. That is called disinvestment. Government will sell any department, any property to private sector or to somebody else, and they will get cash and fulfill their current year expenditure. But in case of budgetary deficit, when total expenditure becomes more than total income, then what happens? Government has to borrow money from Reserve Bank of India. So here government has to borrow money from Reserve Bank of India. The central government incurs deficit financing and borrows money from RBI to meet their loss, to meet their deficit, and the state government borrow more from central government, which is called overdraft. Here central government has to borrow money from RBI and state government is borrowing money from central government, which is also called overdraft. So here two topics, revenue deficit and budgetary deficit, is completed. In revenue deficit only we have to take revenue income and revenue expenditure. In case of budgetary deficit, total expenditure and total income, or total income, total expenditure. In case of revenue deficit, excess revenue expenditure can be fulfilled with capital expenditure or capital income. But here total expenditure and total income, if total expenditure are more, then central government has to borrow money from Reserve Bank of India, and state government has to borrow money from central government in order to fulfill their expenditure. And when central government is borrowing money when the state government is borrowing money from central government, then it is also known as overdraft. The two topics completed, revenue deficit and budgetary deficit. Now next topic is third point, fiscal deficit. Third point is fiscal deficit. Third topic, fiscal deficit. Now fiscal deficit according to textbook, first of all, fiscal deficit is equal to total expenditure when total expenditure is more than total income. When total expenditure is more than total income is called fiscal deficit. Now, what is the difference between fiscal deficit and budgetary deficit? In budgetary deficit also, I have explained that budgetary deficit means when total expenditure is more than total income. In fiscal deficit also I am telling you that when total expenditure is more than total income, then it is called fiscal deficit. Then what is the difference between budgetary deficit and fiscal deficit? Difference is, now come to difference. When we are talking about total income, total income. So we all know total income means it includes two types of income. Which income? Revenue income. Other is capital income. If you take one example of both, revenue income means tax. Tax for the government is a major source, and every year they are collecting tax. That's why major source of income, and every year they are collecting tax. That's why this is regular income, means revenue income. If we talk about capital income, here I am taking, means capital income is of two types. We are taking two examples. One, by selling assets. Either your asset means either government's asset will reduce. In case of capital income, either government's asset will reduce or government's liability will increase. How? Suppose capital income, first example, if the capital income means here cash inflow. Cash inflow is called capital income. This is not actually an income. This is called actually, this is cash inflow. When cash is receiving by the government, then it is considered as capital income. Now in case of capital income, assets or liabilities will be affected. Either asset will increase or decrease, or liability will increase or decrease. In case of capital income, asset will reduce and liability will increase. For example, governments want some money because their expenditures are more, income is less. It means in order to fulfill their expenditure, it is possible that government has to sell any particular department or any particular assets, and when they are selling those assets, against that they are receiving money, that's why it is considered as income. But when we are selling their asset will reduce. So in case of capital income, assets will reduce. For another example, they are selling aircrafts to Afghanistan or other weapons to Pakistan, Afghanistan, means the countries with whom it has trade relation. So when they are selling aircrafts, weapons or any assets to any other country, their asset reduces, but against that they are receiving money, that's why it is considered as capital income. Second example of capital income is liability increases. How? Again, when our expenditure is more than our total income, it means government is not in a position to fulfill their expenditures out of total income. In that case, government has to borrow money from other foreign companies or foreign government, and when they are, or from RBI, when they are borrowing money, it means their liability increases. So here I am taking this example. When Indian government has to borrow money or they are borrowing money, it is a liability. It is actually not an income. It is actually not an income. We are borrowing money means we are increasing our liability. That's why in case of fiscal deficit, in total income we are excluding the borrowed money. No doubt that in economics, borrowed money is considered as total income, but actually it is not an income. That's why at one level, when we are trying to find out the loss, total expenditure is more or total income is more, when we are calculating at different levels, the one level is called fiscal deficit. At this stage, we are not considering borrowed amount as an income. So here in total income we are not taking borrowed money, excluding borrowed money. Means we are not considering borrowed money as an income. After that we are trying to find out what is our total expenditure and what is our total income. So in fiscal deficit, once again, in definition, there is no difference between budgetary deficit and fiscal deficit. Only difference is of borrowed money. In total income, in case of budgetary deficit, we are taking total income, whole total income, including borrowed money. But in case of fiscal deficit, we are not considering borrowed money as an income. So without borrowed money, what is the situation? What is the economic situation of our country? In that case, total expenditure, if total expenditure is more than total income, excluding borrowed money, means without borrowed money, then what is our situation? What is our loss? That loss is called fiscal loss or fiscal deficit budget. And when we are taking total income, whole income, including borrowed money, then it becomes budgetary deficit. Only the difference is of borrowed money between fiscal deficit and previous one is budgetary deficit. The third fiscal deficit is completed. What is the definition? Once again, whenever total expenditure is more than total income excluding borrowed money, such type of loss, such type of deficit is called fiscal deficit budget. Now fourth, last one, and in this way your chapter will be completed. Last one is primary deficit. Primary deficit. These are all deficit. That's why it is obvious that our total expenditure remains more than total income. So in case of primary deficit, again, whenever total, again we are taking total expenditure. Whenever total expenditure is more than total income, when more than total income, again it is called primary deficit. Now why we are using primary deficit? Try to understand. Here, excluding borrowed money we have taken. Borrowed money means we are increasing our liability. Only one point is left. We are borrowing money. On that borrowed money, on that borrowed money, government has to pay interest. Government has to pay interest, and interest is not a regular expenditure. Interest is not a regular expenditure. So when we are deducting means we are not taking interest on regular expenditure. It means we are not spending that money on our regular requirements. That is the borrowed money, on that we are paying. Means one-sided expenditure. That's why the borrowed money, when we are not taking, so against that whatever interest we have to pay on that borrowed money, if we exclude interest on borrowed money, so here borrowed money. So in case of primary deficit, total expenditure remains more than total expenditure, and interest on borrowed money is not to be taken in case of primary deficit. After that, we are trying to calculate what is our actual expenditure. Then primary deficit it comes. The total expenditure remains total income excluding interest on borrowed money. So these are the 4 types of deficit budget. One is revenue deficit budget, other is total means budgetary deficit, third one is fiscal deficit, and fourth one is primary deficit. In this way, this chapter is completed.